Imagine a man who lived in the 1500s, surrounded by crumbling empires, power-hungry popes, and murderous monarchs, somehow writing a political guide that still sparks debate in 2025. A man so controversial, his name became synonymous with deception and ruthless ambition. That man was Niccolò Machiavelli, and whether you admire him or loathe him, you can't ignore him. But here's the twist. While most people think of Machiavelli as a blueprint for tyranny, today's political leaders, yes, even in democracies, are still channeling his ideas. So what does The Prince, a book written over 500 years ago, have to say about the world of campaign trails, televised debates, and social media spin? The answer might surprise you. Welcome to the unfolding journey, where we explore the intersections of history, philosophy, and the modern world. Every episode uncovers timeless ideas and the hidden threads that connect the past to the present. If you're passionate about thinking deeply, questioning narratives, and learning how yesterday's thinkers shaped today's decisions, you're in the right place. Machiavelli, more than just a villain. First, let's clear up a major misconception. Machiavelli wasn't a monster. He was a realist. Living through the chaotic politics of Renaissance Italy, Machiavelli witnessed firsthand how power was seized, wielded, and lost. The Prince wasn't a manifesto for evil, it was a survival guide. He didn't invent political manipulation, he just wrote about it with chilling honesty. And that honesty is exactly why his work remains relevant today. Where other thinkers dreamed of ideal societies, Machiavelli observed how leaders actually behaved. He peeled away the mask of morality to reveal the raw mechanics of power. The Machiavellian paradox in democracy. Here's where things get interesting. Modern democracies are supposed to be transparent, accountable, and grounded in the will of the people. In theory, they're the opposite of Machiavelli's world of scheming princes and ruthless power grabs. And yet, look closely at any election season, and you'll see Machiavelli's fingerprints all over the place. Consider this paradox. In democratic systems, politicians must appear ethical and compassionate, but behind the scenes, they often operate with cold calculation. This is textbook Machiavelli. A prince must learn how not to be good. But, and this is key, only when circumstances demand it. In Machiavellian logic, morality is flexible. If lying, manipulating, or even betraying is necessary to secure power or protect the state, then so be it. Sound familiar? When political leaders break promises, shift narratives, or spin facts to win over voters, they're often following Machiavelli's advice, whether they realize it or not. Virtù and fortuna, two keys to leadership. One of Machiavelli's most profound contributions to political thought is his theory of virtù and fortuna. Virtù is not virtue in the modern sense. It's the ability to shape reality through force of will, courage, and cunning. Fortuna represents luck, chance, and the unpredictable forces of the world. Great leaders, Machiavelli argues, are those who have the virtù to bend fortuna to their advantage. Think of modern leaders who faced economic collapses, pandemics, or wars. The ones who emerge respected or even admired often demonstrate Machiavellian virtù, adaptability, decisiveness, and a willingness to make tough calls. It's not always about being good. It's about being effective. The illusion of appearances. Machiavelli famously wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." This insight is devastatingly relevant in the age of media. Today's politicians are brands. They're curated personas on social media, carefully managed in interviews, and always aware that they're being watched. Machiavelli would have thrived in such a world, and he'd advise modern leaders to master the art of appearance. A democratic leader can't openly manipulate or deceive, at least not without consequences. But they can craft narratives, stage symbolic gestures, and project emotional intelligence. Whether it's a president shedding a tear, a candidate rolling up their sleeves in a factory, or a leader going viral for a relatable TikTok moment, it's often performance with a purpose. Ethics, hypocrisy, and public good. Critics argue that Machiavellian politics erode public trust. And they're right to worry. If leaders constantly bend the truth, manipulate public opinion, or act with selfish ambition, democracy suffers. But Machiavelli didn't advocate for chaos. He believed in stability. For him, the end goal was a strong state that could endure external threats and internal decay. In that sense, he might argue that a little hypocrisy, if it leads to national security, economic prosperity, or public health, might be justified. That's where the real tension lies, between moral ideals and political necessity. Modern leaders constantly walk this tightrope, balancing their public image with private strategy. And whether they admit it or not, Machiavelli wrote the playbook for that balancing act. Lessons for today's political leaders. So what can contemporary politicians actually learn from Machiavelli without descending into corruption or tyranny? Here are 5 key takeaways. Adaptability is strength. Don't cling to ideology when reality demands change. Control the narrative. Appearances matter just as much, if not more, than truth. Know when to be ruthless. Compassion is ideal, but not always practical. Understand power dynamics. Who holds influence behind the scenes often matters more than public figures. Aim for stability. The long-term health of a democracy sometimes requires short-term discomfort. These aren't easy lessons, but they're real and relevant, and they explain why Machiavelli remains so influential in both academic and political circles. At the end of the day, Machiavelli holds up a mirror, not just to political leaders, but to citizens. He reminds us that leadership is rarely black and white, that behind every smiling politician might be a strategist calculating the next move, that the people we elect are often forced to make choices that challenge both ethics and loyalty. If democracy is to thrive, we need more than leaders who understand Machiavelli. We need voters who do too. If this made you rethink power, leadership, and the strange survival of Machiavelli in modern times, you're not alone. And that's exactly the kind of exploration we bring you here. Thanks for watching the unfolding journey. If you enjoyed this dive into political philosophy, don't forget to hit like, leave your thoughts in the comments, and most importantly, subscribe for more deep dives into history, power, and the forces shaping our world today. Until next time, stay curious, stay questioning, and keep unfolding the journey.